All right, so get this. We're diving deep into AI and video games today, but trust me, it's way more than just making those bad guys run at you.
Yeah,
We're talking about the intelligent playfield, AI in games.
right. We're going beyond the surface.
Okay.
Think about it. How do these huge open worlds and games like Red Dead Redemption feel so alive? Or how do enemies in Call of Duty seem to predict your every move?
Seriously, it's like they've got ESP or something.
Yeah.
But really, it's all AI working its magic
Uh-huh.
behind the scenes. And get this, AI isn't about creating some super intelligence like we see in the movies.
Right.
It's about making games more fun and engaging.
Exactly. Game AI is all about crafting experiences that keep you hooked. And one of the key ways it does that is by creating believable and reactive opponents instead of just following a script. AI gives those NPCs the ability to make decisions on the fly, react to your actions, and even learn from their mistakes.
So it's like they're actually thinking and adapting to how I play.
Yeah.
That's kind of freaky, but also super cool.
It is cool.
Yeah.
It's like having a sparring partner who's always pushing you to get better.
Right.
Take pathfinding, for example.
Okay.
It's a fundamental aspect of game AI and ensures that those NPCs can navigate the game world without constantly running into walls.
Right, because a game where the enemies are constantly getting stuck wouldn't be very fun.
Yeah.
But how does pathfinding actually work?
Well, there are different algorithms at play. One of the most common is a search,
Okay.
which is like a super efficient GPS for NPCs. It calculates the shortest path between 2 points so that enemy chasing you won't take any unnecessary detours.
So that's how those Pac-Man ghosts manage to corner you so effectively.
Exactly. A search helps them choose the most direct route to your location. And in more complex games with massive environments, developers use techniques like navmesh.
Navmesh, that sounds pretty technical.
It is, but think of it this way. Navmesh is like a detailed roadmap of the game world that helps AI agents like those self-driving cars in Grand Theft Auto navigate realistically.
Oh, wow. So even those virtual cars are using AI to get around. It's amazing how much we take these things for granted.
Absolutely. AI is working hard behind the scenes to make those virtual worlds feel as believable as possible. But pathfinding is just one piece of the puzzle. What really brings those NPCs to life is their ability to make decisions.
Right, because running around aimlessly isn't exactly intelligent behavior.
Yeah.
So how do developers give NPCs the ability to make choices?
Well, they use techniques like decision trees and behavior trees, which allow AI to follow a set of rules and make decisions based on the current situation. It's like giving them a set of guidelines to follow, but with enough flexibility to adapt to unexpected events.
So it's not just pre-programmed actions. They're actually making choices based on what's happening in the game.
Exactly. A good example is a game like Civilization, where the AI opponents have to make complex, strategic decisions that affect the entire game world. They consider factors like resource management, diplomacy, and military strategy, just like a human player would.
That's wild. I always thought those AI opponents were just following a script, but it sounds like they're actually engaging in some serious strategic thinking.
They are, and as AI technology continues to evolve, we're seeing even more sophisticated decision-making capabilities in games techniques like finite state machines, for example, allow NPCs to transition between different states of being, like patrolling, attacking, or fleeing, depending on the context.
Okay, so finite state machines basically give NPCs a range of behaviors they can switch between.
Exactly. Think of it like this. An enemy soldier in Call of Duty might start in a patrolling state, but if they spot you, they'll transition to an attack state, and if they take too much damage, they might switch to a flee state.
That makes so much sense. It's like they're actually reacting to the situation and making decisions based on what's happening around them. It makes those encounters so much more dynamic and unpredictable.
That's the goal. And speaking of unpredictable, there's another area of game AI that's even more mind-blowing: machine learning.
Machine learning, like the kind of AI that's writing poetry and composing music these days.
Exactly. But in the context of games, machine learning allows AI to learn from experience and improve its performance over time instead of just following pre-programmed rules. Machine learning algorithms can analyze vast amounts of data and adapt their behavior accordingly.
Wait, so the AI can actually get better at the game the more it plays?
Yeah.
That's incredible. But how does that work in practice?
One fascinating example is OpenAI 5, an AI system that learned to play the incredibly complex game Dota 2 by analyzing thousands of matches played by professional human players.
So it basically studied the best players in the world and figured out how to beat them at their own game.
You got it. And the amazing part is it actually worked. OpenAI 5 ended up defeating top-ranked professional Dota 2 teams, showcasing the incredible potential of machine learning in gaming.
That's insane. I mean, if an AI can learn to master a game as complex as Dota 2, what's next? Is it going to start designing its own games soon?
Well, that's not entirely out of the realm of possibility, but before we get ahead of ourselves, let's talk about another incredible application of AI in games world building.
World building, you mean like creating those massive open world environments we see in games like Skyrim or Red Dead Redemption?
Exactly. It's called procedural content generation, and it's a game changer. Imagine a game world that's not entirely handcrafted by developers, but rather generated by AI algorithms.
So instead of spending countless hours designing every single detail, developers can let the AI do some of the heavy lifting. That's amazing. But how does it actually work?
Well, think of it like this AI is given a set of rules and parameters, and then it uses those to create unique landscapes, dungeons, even entire planets. It's like having a virtual architect that can design an infinite number of variations.
Wow. So that means every playthrough could be a completely different experience.
Exactly. Take a game like No Man's Sky, for example. It
Mhm.
boasts billions of procedurally generated planets, each with its own unique flora, fauna, and resources. It creates a sense of vastness and exploration that wouldn't be possible with traditional game design methods.
That's mind-blowing. So we've got AI handling, pathfinding decision-making, and even world building. It's practically doing everything.
Yeah.
But I'm curious, how does all of this translate into different game genres?
Well, AI adapts to the specific needs of each genre. For example, in open world games like Grand Theft Auto or Skyrim, AI is responsible for creating believable crowds, realistic traffic patterns, and those random encounters that make the world feel alive.
Right, like when you stumble upon a group of bandits arguing over loot or see a couple having a picnic by the river. It's those little details that really immerse you in the world.
Absolutely. And in shooters like Call of Duty or Battlefield, AI is used to create challenging opponents that can flank, take cover, and even coordinate attacks. It keeps you on your toes and makes every firefight feel dynamic and unpredictable.
I've definitely had moments where I felt like the AI was reading my mind and anticipating my every move. But what about sports games? How does AI play a role there?
Well, in sports games like FIFA or NBA, 2K AI is used to control the opposing teams, giving them realistic strategies and play styles. It's also used to create those fluid player animations that make the game look and feel authentic.
So it's not just about button mashing. There's actually a layer of strategic thinking going on behind the scenes.
Exactly. The AI takes into account factors like player ratings, team chemistry, and even the current score to make decisions that mimic real-world sports strategies.
That's impressive. It sounds like AI is practically running the show in these games. Now, what about strategy games like StarCraft or Civilization? I imagine AI plays a huge role there as well.
Absolutely. Strategy games are all about planning resource management and outsmarting your opponents, and AI is perfect for creating challenging opponents that can think several steps ahead and adapt to your strategies.
I've definitely been outsmarted by a chess AI or two in my time. It's humbling to realize just how good these programs have become. I'm curious, is AI only used to create the games themselves, or is it also being used in the development process?
That's a great question, and the answer is a resounding yes. AI is becoming an increasingly valuable tool for game developers, helping them streamline the creation process and create even more immersive experiences.
Really? How so?
Well, for one thing, AI can be used for game testing. Instead of having human testers play through countless hours of gameplay to identify bugs and glitches, developers can use AI to automate this process. AI can run thousands of simulations, testing different scenarios and identifying potential issues much faster and more efficiently.
That sounds like a huge time saver, and I imagine it helps ensure a more polished and bug-free gaming experience.
Exactly. And AI can also be used to generate game assets like characters, environments, and even sound effects. This frees up artists and designers to focus on the more creative aspects of game development while AI handles the more repetitive tasks.
So it's like having a virtual assistant that can take care of the grunt work. That's incredible.
Mm.
Are there any other ways AI is being used in game development?
One of the most exciting areas is something called emotion AI. It's still in its early stages, but the idea is to use AI to analyze the player's facial expressions, voice tone, and even biofeedback to create a truly personalized and immersive gaming experience.
Whoa, so the game could actually react to how I'm feeling. It sounds like something straight out of science fiction.
Doesn't it imagine a horror game that ramps up the scares if it senses that you're getting tense, or an adventure game that adjusts the difficulty based on your level of engagement?
That'd be amazing. It's like having a personal AI game master tailoring the experience just for me.
Exactly. The possibilities
Yeah.
are truly endless. And speaking of possibilities, what do you think the future holds for AI in games?
Well, it really does sound like we are on the cusp of like a gaming revolution.
Yeah.
I mean, if AI can already do all of this,
Right.
what's next? Are we talking flying cars in GTA?
Yeah, huh?
Oh, hey, maybe not yet, but seriously, what are some of the things that we might see in the future of AI-powered games?
Well, one thing is for sure, those NPCs we talked about, they're going to become even more believable. I'm talking like indistinguishable from human level believable.
Right.
With advances in things like natural language processing, we will be having conversations with game characters that feel just as natural as like chatting with a friend.
Whoa, that's wild. Imagine the role-playing possibilities in games like Fallout or Elder Scrolls. If
Yeah.
you could have truly nuanced conversations with the characters, it would take immersion to a whole new level.
Absolutely. And beyond just conversations, AI could also power like more realistic and complex character behaviors. Imagine NPCs with their own motivations and goals and relationships, all driven by sophisticated AI systems.
So instead of just reacting to the player, they'd be living their own lives within the game world. It would make those worlds feel so much more dynamic and unpredictable.
Exactly. It would be like stepping into a living, breathing society. And here's another thought. What if AI could actually design entire games from scratch?
Wait, seriously, you're saying AI could come up with the storylines, the characters, the levels, the whole 9 yards?
I know it sounds crazy, but think about it. AI is already being used to generate music art and even like write stories. It's not a huge leap to imagine it designing entire games, potentially even games that are tailored to your specific preferences.
Okay, that would be absolutely mind-blowing. It's like having a personal AI game developer creating the perfect game just for you, no more. Sifting through endless Steam reviews trying to find something you will actually enjoy.
That's the idea. And beyond single player experiences, imagine the possibilities for multiplayer games. AI could create dynamic challenges that adapt to the player's skills, ensuring a balanced and engaging experience for everyone.
That would be awesome. No more getting completely stomped by those super skilled players who spend every waking moment honing their skills.
So we've talked about AI making games more realistic, more personalized, and even designing them all together. But what about the ethical implications of all this? It's something that comes up a lot with AI in general.
You're right, it's an important question. As AI becomes more sophisticated, we need to think carefully about its impact on the gaming industry and on society as a whole. For example, what about the potential for AI to create games that are addictive or harmful, or the impact on jobs in the gaming industry if AI starts taking over tasks traditionally done by humans?
Those are valid concerns, and it's crucial that developers, policymakers, and gamers themselves engage in like open and honest conversations about the ethical implications of AI in games. It's about finding a balance between innovation and responsibility, ensuring that AI is used to enhance the gaming experience in a positive and sustainable way.
Well said. It seems like with AI, the future of gaming is full of both incredible possibilities and some pretty weighty questions that we need to address as a society.
Absolutely. It's a fascinating time to be following the evolution of this technology and its impact on the games we love.
Okay, so let's bring it all back to our deep dive source, the intelligent playfield,
Yeah.
AI in games. What were some of the key takeaways for you?
For me, the book really drove home the point that AI is no longer just a cool add-on in games. It's like the driving force behind so many aspects of the gaming experience, from the way enemies behave to the worlds we explore. AI is shaping the very fabric of modern games.
And it's not just about making games more realistic, it's about making them more fun, more engaging, and more personalized.
Exactly. It's about pushing the boundaries of what's possible in interactive entertainment and creating experiences that truly captivate and inspire us.
Well, I think we've given our listeners a lot to think about today. Any final thoughts before we wrap up this deep dive into the world of AI in games?
Just this, as AI continues to evolve at a breakneck pace, the future of gaming is going to be a wild ride. I, for one, can't wait to see what incredible experiences await us in the years to come.
I'm with you on that. It's an exciting time to be a gamer. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of AI in games. Until next time, game on.